It is the heavyweight rematch we have all been waiting for. An unnerving, steely edge to Tyson Fury this week. The champ, though, Oleksandr Usyk, taking it all in his stride. The fun and games no more. They have stopped, as did time when the two faced off at yesterday's press conference. Neither fighter given an inch for a whopping 11-minute stare down. It is all set up rather nicely for an epic heavyweight showdown on Saturday night. Hello there, welcome to Riyadh. Well, the countdown is well and truly on, isn't it, for the rematch that we have all been waiting for. Oleksandr Usyk takes on Tyson Fury once again live in the Kingdom Arena in Saudi Arabia on Saturday night. Today, though, it is all about the weigh-in, and the fighters will face off for the final time ahead of that huge showdown coming your way on Saturday night. I have two very excited guests alongside me, Johnny Nelson and Shane McGregor. Johnny, it's one of those fights. You said to me last Saturday in Liverpool you'd watched the fight 15 times, you'd changed your mind however many times. How many times this week alone have you changed your mind?
I've only changed my mind 4 times this week.
Only 4?
So we're good. I think tonight will be the final time, and I want to stick to it. I came out here, I thought Oleksandr Usyk's got his number. He knows exactly what he's got to do. He's got the better of him. He's too professional all the way round. Then I saw Tyson Fury on Monday, and I thought, oh, there you are. That guy should have turned up in the last fight. Now, I didn't know if that was a front for us. I want to see what he was like in front of Oleksandr Usyk. If he could maintain that chip on his shoulder, that edge about him, then I'll be bought in. Yesterday, I was bought in. So today, I'm Tyson Fury until after the weigh-in. We'll see what's going on.
Tomorrow might be a different story. Who knows? We would love you to get involved at home as well. Tell us who you think is going to win this fight. Again, you're going to be changing and chopping and changing your mind over the next 24 hours. It's very easy to do so. Scan the QR code that is on your screen right now. I tell you what was very exciting yesterday was that press conference. That stare down, the lengthy face-off, 11 minutes long. That's over 3 rounds of boxing, Shane. It was intense, wasn't it? Neither fighter wanted to give an inch there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're both masters of it. They're both masters of psychology. They've always been able to get into their opponent's head. And I think, 11 minutes showcased that. But the person that snapped was Tyson Fury. It was like when they're into 2 minutes of it. Yeah. You can't give, can you? You're fully committed then. People were trying to pull them away, but the two of them were locked in. And I think, we saw the chink in Tyson Fury. But maybe that's what he needs. Maybe that's what he needs, that spite. He needs that aggressiveness that he lacked in the first fight. He was too calm. He was too relaxed. He was really in a groove. And then he also caught him with that worldy punch in the 9th round. So he's got to stay fit, switched on. He's got to really believe it and be hitting with intent in this fight. And I think that is the way for him to win.
It's always these moments, the weigh and the final face-off. That lengthy stare down yesterday between Fury and Usyk. The Fury is desperately trying to get under Usyk's skin, isn't he? If there's any fighter that it's probably not going to work with, that's Oleksandr Usyk, because he just seems to be taking it all in his stride. He's not budging.
Usyk was so cool yesterday, and Tyson Fury at the press conference, he said, I'm not saying anything, I've got nothing to say. And he tried his hardest to give one-word answers, and then it came to the stare down, and Fury wanted to make a point. Like the saw in the story, I'm not moving first. He wanted to make a point and thought, I am not moving. And regardless, and time went on, and you had to try and pull him away. But then, Tyson, you can see a trickle of sweat come down his neck, and then he started the insults. He started the verbal. And Usyk had a wry smile on his face and went, I've got you. And that's where the problem started.
But even at the press conference at the top table, you had Eddie Hearn, didn't you, saying he's backing Tyson Fury. Even Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, saying, I'm backing Tyson Fury. Usyk just stared at them.
Turki's a fan.
Didn't mind.
Turki's a fan like everybody else, and so he's a fan that's able to help boost our sport. So regardless of what Turkey says, it doesn't matter who he wants to win. It's a case of when the bell goes. Boxing's the only sport you can't hustle when the bell goes. The best will beat the best.
Of course, it wouldn't be a fight week, would it, without any little stories rumbling on in the background. One of those stories concerns, in terms of the judges, Fernando Barbosa, who was one of the judges, was due to fly out, but he's ill, so he hasn't been able to. There's another 2 that are flying in. But the problem we have is that neither camp, our Fury and Usyk, can agree on which judge they want, Shane. Bit of an issue.
Yeah, I think that's down to Oleksandr Usyk's team that really want the best for him. Whereas Tyson Fury is the one that wants to take control of the situation. He'll be looking into the judges in their last 10 to 15 fights and seeing if it's going to suit his style, because his tactics might be he wants to roughhouse Oleksandr Usyk in this one, or he just wants to have that upper hand. And I think if out of the two of them, it's going to be more of a factor towards Fury, because he's really going to want to be in control of that situation. I think whatever Tyson Fury chooses, Usyk's just going to go the other way just to wind him up.
They could solve it all really by just getting a knockout, couldn't they? There's a slight delay, just to tell you about this weigh and when it's going to get underway. We are on Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk time. Why not? It's their big fight. But it is a fight you do not want to miss, and we're going to tell you how you can book it. Coverage from Riyadh gets underway from 4 p.m. on Saturday, live on Sky Sports Box Office. The event is available to Sky residential customers and also non-Sky customers via the Sky Sports Box Office app in the UK and Ireland. Virgin Media and EETV customers, please contact your operator. Go to skysports.com/box office for more information. Okay, so we've talked about the judges, and that is one of the stories that's running around in the background. Another one is concerning Tyson Fury's beard, and that is that Usyk's camp aren't happy about the length of Tyson Fury's beard. I mean, what are the rules on this, Shane? Is it too long? Should it go? If you were in Usyk's camp, would you be making these rumblings?
I personally wouldn't, because I think it's irrelevant. But if they feel like that's going to wind them up, then yes. I mean, at this stage of the fight, I think anything's a bonus for them. The BBBSC, I remember years ago, got Danny Williams, to shave his beard. He refused to do it because of religious purposes, but I think that was to do the length of it. Whereas this is for the world titles and the governing bodies, they'll be overseen by the ABC rules, which has no ruling. So I don't think it's in the amateurs you have to shave your beard, but in the professional ranks you're allowed to have.
I think it's more of a storm in a teacup, if I'm honest with you.
More mind games.
Both fighters don't care. And as Shane said, it's about the teams. I remember when Tyson Fury was complaining about the thickness of the canvas when he boxed Klitschko. I remember Dominic Ingle giving Amir Khan's corner hassle about the gloves. They didn't care. They just wanted to ruffle the feathers and upset the apple cart. And Usyk's team are now trying a Fury on Fury.
Is the beard for Fury part of this persona, part of the sort of seek and destroy mentality that he's bringing to this fight?
I believe so. I believe if you look at the Wilder 2 fight and the Wilder 3 fight, he went in there with intent to hurt him, to go and put a statement on, and he did that. I feel like the first fight with Wilder, he was clean shaven. The first fight with Usyk, he's clean shaven. We're going to get a different Tyson Fury, that's for sure.
Well, put it this way, if Tyson Fury shaves the beard off, in his head, it's round 1 to Usyk. Because he's thinking, it's not happening. And they know it's going to get in his head. And they will make as much noise about it as possible. Not that they care about the beard, the fact that they want to get in Tyson Fury's head.
It's all mind games, isn't it? And we love it. Right, we're going to have plenty more build-up to come after this break. And, of course, the undercard weigh-in shall be getting underway very soon. See you in a couple. Interesting. Obviously, we've got a full undercard as well coming your way.
Get an update, then we'll see how long.
just one day to go until the rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. We are at the Wonder Garden here in Riyadh for the weigh-in today. A final chance for Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk to look each other in the eye before they step in that ring on Saturday night. Johnny, another talking point is, of course, being the weigh-in, going to be surrounding the weights. Tyson Fury's been saying this week he thinks around 20 stone is going to be coming in. There was a couple of stone between the two in the last fight. What do you think we're going to see today?
I do believe he's going to come in pretty heavy, probably not as heavy as the Ngannou fight. I do believe he'll come in heavy purposely, and not to try and ruffle Oleksandr Usyk up. I think he wants to box offensively on the front foot, and if I'm honest with you, he needs to have Usyk complaining to the referee, lean on him, rub his elbow in his face, or push it to the wire.
Size,
he needs to make him feel uncomfortable in his presence, because if you look at the last fight, Usyk was he was like an eel. So when Tyson was hurt and he was trying to grab him, he slipped out, rolled under, and Tyson's going in there with the intention to grab hold of him and wrestle him and make it hard for him. Usyk will pickpocket him. That's what Anthony Joshua did the last time. Boxed him the first time, tried to fight him the second time. Even though Anthony Joshua boxed a lot better the second time, he made it easy for Usyk, because Usyk thought, come on to me, come looking for me, I can pick you off. So that's why I think the weight will benefit Fury if he uses it smart.
It's going to be fascinating. I mean, Tyson Fury, he's looking good. He's looking like he's trained really hard for this fight. What do you think you're going to see on the scales from him today?
I think, it's hard to tell. He's been wrapped up all week. It's hard to tell what weight he comes in at. If he comes in as heavy as 277, 276, I think it was, for the third Wilder fight, probably not ideal. He has to have speed. He has to have speed to go with the size. I think if he comes in around 270, 272, that's around the weight that he was in the second fight of the Wilder fight. But personally, I wasn't disappointed with him in the first fight against Usyk. I feel like that was probably the best Tyson Fury we've seen in a long time, since Wilder 2. So if it's not broke, don't really fix it. Just don't get complacent and throw more than 2-3 shots. He got caught in the third or fourth shot against Usyk, whereas he was getting a lot of success. He was cruising early on in the fight, in the mid-rounds, halfway through the fight he was up, because he was staying on the ones and the twos, maybe the third shot. But when he started to really try and layer it and look for more than 2-3 shots, he got nailed. So is it going to be a size issue? 300-400 people have tried in the amateurs and pros to try and manhandle him. They've all come up short.
Well, there was 2 stone between them last time around, and it didn't bother Usyk.
No, not at all. He's so used to it. He's used to boxing bigger guys, and the thing is he pushes the bigger man back. He's pushing Daniel Dubois back. He pushed Joshua back on both fights. He pushed Fury back the whole way through that fight. He's just an amazing athlete and an amazing ability to take your size and strength away from you. And as he said, I nearly laughed at the comment about an eel, because it's so true. He just slips underneath.
Also the mental pressure as well. Tony Bellew, you've spoken so much about Oleksandr Usyk when he was in the ring with him, about how draining the mental pressure that Usyk applies to you and how hard that is to deal with.
So Usyk's very good at putting the mental pressure on. Because he's so good, you're second guessing what he's going to do. So you're trying to should have stepped there, should have stepped there. If you're mentally fatigued, it's worse. It's as bad as being physically fatigued. And so Fury's got to own what he's doing. Fury's got to make sure I'm boxing at my pace, my lane, in my speed, and do it my way. Because if he lets Usyk pressure him, mentally he will drain a lot more before physically. Look at the likes of Tony Bellew when he boxed Usyk. He said, I was mentally drained. He just had me go. I didn't know. And I thought Tony Bellew was doing pretty well up to that point, but he was absolutely gassed. Usyk is brilliant at mentally putting you under pressure.
It's going to be fascinating, because both fighters have had 12 rounds of data to process, and that makes it even more interesting in terms of the psychology of this rematch. Andy Scott can tell us more.
A rematch can cement the legacy of a fighter. An instant return, especially after a loss, can be exciting for some athletes, anxiety-inducing for others. When a fighter has already shared the ring with their opponent, the mind becomes harder to deceive.
Even elite fighters like your Usyk or Fury are going to experience every emotion under the sun over that 12-week sort of camp coming into a fight like this. Elite performance without pressure doesn't exist. This is about Usyk versus Usyk and Fury versus Fury. They both have the technical ability to win this fight. I think it's going to come down to who's able to keep it together, win the head game, and access the most of their ability on fight night.
Tyson Fury is ready to go. A handful of seconds remaining in the round.
Then psychology starts to trump technique. It's no longer about get better, it's about deliver.
Everyone trains their body, but only a few master their mind. Both Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury are two of the best in the game at psychological warfare.
Tyson Fury is just a fascinating individual, a super extroverted guy. He's a showman, he's charismatic, he's entertaining.
This is a dedication to Vlad and Jonathan and Bont. It must have been cold there in my shadow.
You know, he's talked about what he did well. He's talked about how he didn't focus as much as he could have. For me, that's a sign that, okay, the guy's taking ownership. There's humility there.
I believed, I thought I did enough, but, you know, I'm not a judge. I can't judge a fight while I'm boxing it.
What personality traits does Oleksandr Usyk possess?
The complete opposite. He's introverted, right? He's very balanced. He's not rocked either way, positive or negative.
Usyk, you're next, little you're next. I'm going to write you off.
When you ask about his preparation, the regime, he likes order, structure, discipline.
I prepare for this fight for 22 years.
Tyson, don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone.
And I think that in some of those funnier moments, it's really just something that's been lost in translation.
He can't have any response because it's true.
No.
I don't have motivation. Only my regime, only my concentration. This is my motivation.
He's been on a similar journey to Fury in that his life's been dedicated to this sport. He's going to want to do himself justice. There's an almost mythological spin to this fight. The two extreme ends of the psychological spectrum in Usyk and Fury, you've got chaos and order. And when chaos meets order, I think sometimes chaos has the edge.
Skill alone cannot define a champion. Gaining the mental edge is paramount. When the lights come down and the crowd falls silent, all that's left is to fight. But does the unshakable mindset of the champion beat the mental fortitude of the challenger?
Fascinating stuff. We'll delve into the psychology of the next fight in just a minute, but we are having a bit of a lengthy delay here for the undercard fighters. Matt Mcken and Andy Clark have popped in for a bit of a chat, and that is because apparently, Andy, some of the drivers have got lost with some of the undercard fighters. Not ideal, and for the fighters that are already here, I don't imagine that's very pleasing for them.
No, it's not the perfect situation. The one thing that makes it slightly better is that the fighters who have had to make weight have already done that. They weighed in at lunchtime to save the waiting until this evening, so that...
It's still the waiting
it's
around,
not good,
it's
no,
not
it's
that
not good.
warm.
It's not what you want to be doing. You don't want to be spending your time in the back of a car or in this really dry, I was going to say heat, it's not that hot, but it's very dry conditions. It isn't what you want, but these things happen. On the way in ourselves, we did go in a few ever-decreasing circles before we found the entrance. It's not the easiest place to navigate at times, so it's all part of a big fight week. And you don't want a weigh-in to go completely smoothly, do you? Where's the fun in that?
Exactly, you need a bit of drama.
Yeah, drama. You don't want straightforward, do you, Matt? Especially not on a big fight like this.
No. Look, there's the buzz has really picked up since yesterday, since Fury. That's intense there, Dan. You see all the fans coming in now. Really got that big fight feel now.
It certainly has. In that psychology piece that we just saw there from the first fight, like I said, both fighters have had those 12 rounds to process, analyse, study, learn from. But who do you think is going to be the more improved fighter? Which fighter out of Usyk and Fury are going to learn more from that first fight?
I've got a feeling, looking at Fury this week, the way he's been, the way he's gone for that kind of old school seclusion in the build up to the fight, the way that there's been no noise coming out of his camp whatsoever, and the demeanour of him during the week, and what he said at the press conference, the very few words that he gave us, that what he's got in mind is that he needs to knock Oleksandr Usyk out, that he needs to knock him out, because what he may have learned from the first fight is that if this goes 12 rounds, given the stamina and work rate that Usyk has got, he's up against it. So I think he's going to roll the dice in the way that only heavyweights really can. He can't be gung-ho or reckless, but he's going to go in there thinking to himself, one of us is ending up on their back. It's you or it's me, and I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure it's you.
So in terms of Fury's game plan, can you see that being from the get-go, as in on it from the get-go, all guns blazing for Tyson Fury? Because surely the danger with that is, if it doesn't work and it gets to 4 or 5 rounds and he tires, not only physically but also mentally, that could affect him.
Yeah, no, absolutely could, and it's a difficult thing to do. If Tyson comes out because he wants to be aggressive and he's thinking, I'm going to finish this inside the 12 rounds, which is mostly what heavyweights are aiming to do, I mean, how do you go about doing that? It's a very difficult thing, and the danger is, as Anna said, that it doesn't work. Mentally and physically, you gas out, and then against someone like Usyk, you're vulnerable, but I just feel like he's willing to take that risk and to back himself, but it's that is the question. How do you do it?
I think so too. From everything he said yesterday, his body language, I think he's going to roll the dice. I think he knows that in order to pull that off, it's probably going to be probably got to go at a pace that's not sustainable over 12 rounds, and he knows that if he doesn't get Usyk out of there, he's going to end up running out of steam and possibly getting done himself later on. But I think he's prepared to take that gamble.
Easier said than done, especially with the atmosphere, you know, and so much riding on it, not to come out, you know, from the get-go like that.
No, it's all having that mindset, but technically it's difficult when you're orthodox southpaw to get inside the jab. He doesn't have the quickest feet either, but to try and get close and make it that tight of fight, it's going to be hard.
Do you like this version of Fury, the one that's got the real edge? He's spoken about how he's not spoken to his wife and children for 3 months. Are we believing that? Do we think that's actually the case? What do you think?
No, I believe him. I believe that he's done that, because that is something that fighters have done down the decades. You know, you go for that proper seclusion, you cloister yourself away, you live that monastic life, and he is different this week. But this is the first fight week he's ever gone into off the back of a loss. That's why he's different. You know, at the end of the stare down yesterday, you could interpret that 1 or 2 different ways. You could say it's good because it shows how much he wants it. He desperately wants it. Or you could say that yet again, he can't quite get on top of Usyk. But this is new territory for him. And he is so desperate for the win. You can see how desperate for the win he is.
Well, he said he hasn't spoken to Paris's wife for a few months, but she was here yesterday at the press conference. And she's here today watching on. We can see her there, Matt. I mean, does that give Fury even more bite, even more edge, the fact that he has to shut himself away, he's taken himself to Malta, that he's fully focused, had a proper camp for this one, how serious he is, and how much he's riding on the line for this one?
Of course, his career, really. You know, it's when you think about, you know, method actors that live the role, I feel like that's what Fury's doing. He's even with the beard and everything else, he's in this sort of caveman mode, do you know what I mean? Like I say, seek and destroy, and I think he's took his way, he's created that solitude to give him that laser focus to probably hit home. I don't know, maybe he felt last time he got a little bit distracted, I don't know, but he certainly pulled out all the stops in preparations for this one.
How much do you think that loss hurt Tyson Fury? Because he himself doesn't say, you know, he's saying he doesn't really view it as a loss, but how much do you think it hurt him, really?
Yeah, I don't buy that. Some of the things he said this week and in the build-up, I just don't buy. For example, saying that he's only ever boxed for the money and that's what it's all about for him, I don't buy it. He's into the history, he's into the legacy, has an enormous amount of pride. That has hurt him every single day since that defeat. Every single day he has been sitting in his own pain and misery thinking about this. Every day.
And that's the reason why he's looking the way he is today. Right, we're going to get to our undercard weigh-in. Fighters are ready to go, so let's hand you over to the 2 Andys, Andy Scott and Andy Clark.
Okay, an opportunity for us to get a look at our first fighter on the scales. Joshua Ocampo from Colombia.
And now let's welcome, undefeated with one victory, he hails from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Let's welcome mighty Mohammed Alakel.
Mighty Mohammed Alakel, trained by Joe Gallagher. We were here for his professional debut. Andy Clark's alongside me. What a really good young prospect, but a great character as well.
Yeah, he is. He is. He was very engaging, wasn't he? We saw more of him last fight week than we have done this one, but training with Joe Gallagher, he's got good fighters around him. Joe's been busy with Lawrence Okoli and Natasha Jonas, for example, so he's kind of shared his camp with them to an extent. He was originally on the midweek card, on the 5 fights that we were going to see after the open workouts, but he was removed from that in the end.
Okay, let's listen for the weight.
133.4 for Joshua White Wolf Ocampo.
133.4.
Now to the scale, Mohammed Alakel.
Here comes Alakel.
134.1 for mighty Mohammed Alakel.
So just a pound heavier for Alakel. And obviously,
once again, ladies and gentlemen,
the professional scene here in Saudi Arabia, forever growing, and Alakel will be a big part of that moving forward.
Absolutely. And you can see the backing that they've got. We saw a really good pro debut during the week on Wednesday night for Abdullah Darkazanli, who's come through the Mike Tyson Boxing Club, recruited, in fact, originally by Joe Gallagher. And there's a few fighters who really want to be that guy, don't they? They want to be the one, because there's a vacancy.
Just going to pause for our interview.
How good is this, by the way? Now, your peak toughness, you play a very important role in this sport. But what problems do you believe you can cause young fighters like Mohammed Alakel, who are just finding their feet as professionals?
Will be the experience, you know, because it's a lot of fights, a lot of times when I've been on the ring, so into really a contest, and I hope it will be a really good show.
As do we. Enjoy the experience and enjoy the big stage as well, Joshua, tomorrow night. Thank you.
Mohammed, you're only 24 hours away from the second professional fight and the opening bout for the big one in 2024. What are your thoughts, especially when you see your opponent saying it's going to be a great show?
I'm excited. All the hard work is done now. It's time to have fun.
We can't wait to see you in the ring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next 2 fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the WBC International Heavyweight Championship. First, we will welcome the challenger, coming to us from El Chamizal, Ecatepec, Estado de Mexico. His professional record, 10 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw. 4 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Edgar Ramirez.
Edgar Ramirez, the 29-year-old American-based Mexican with a good record. This looks like a well-matched heavyweight fight. He was the first person I saw in the hotel when I arrived, and he's heavy set. He's a big man.
Yeah, he is. He is. He looks like he's got some power, and just watching him at the open workout, we didn't see too much, but he doesn't look to be the kind of fighter who's really going to load up on his shots particularly. He's just going to trust a bit of natural coordination. I think he might have some heavy hands.
Ukraine. He brings an undefeated record with 13 wins, 10 of those 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBC International Champion, Andre Rampage Nowitzki.
Heavyweight prospect, 6'6", Ukrainian Andrei Nowitzki. Now, we have had him on Sky Sports before. Very impressive last time out when we saw him with some good boxing fundamentals, some good power, and some good backers as well, I should say.
Yeah, he does. He does.
First to the scale, we welcome the challenger, Edgar Ramirez.
Here comes Ramirez.
$261.1 for the challenger, Edgar Ramirez.
So just over 18.5 stone for
Now
Ramirez.
The defending champion, Andrei Nowitzki.
Nowitzki just one of a number of Ukrainian talents on this undercard. 6'6", as we said, and he looks in good shape as well.
237 pounds for the defending champion, Andrei Rampage Nowitzki.
He's just under 17 stone for Nowitzki, Andy.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you look at the different body types. Ramirez is carrying a bit of spare, you can see that, but he's got some proper density to him. As you mentioned, that body composition is not the same as Nowitzki's, because you look at how much taller Nowitzki is, and yet he's giving away, what, 25 pounds? I think this could be a good fight, you know. I think it could be a real interesting fight, because Ramirez, I think, will let his hands go, look to punching combination, get close. Nowitzki could have a battle on his hands here.
We saw Nowitzki against Juan Torres in Riyadh. That was on the undercard of Knockout Chaos, Joshua Ngannou.
He was good that night.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Almost 20 pounds heavier, your opponent, but you're wanting to take this win and maintain that in your undefeated record. What do you need to do? Only 24 hours away from getting into the ring.
It's okay, he's a little bit higher, but I'm the heavy too, but I'm a little bit faster. And I'm so excited for this fight, and I will show you a very, very good fight. December 21. Let's do it, guys.
Thank you very much.
It will be a battle of the undefeated. Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for both the vacant IBF International and vacant WBA Continental Light Heavyweight Championships. It's brought to you in association with K2 Promotions. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Tours, France. He brings an undefeated record with 14 wins, 4 wins. Coming by way of knockout, here is Dylan Force Tranquille Collin.
Dylan Collin from France. This will be the first time the unbeaten light heavyweight has boxed outside of his native countryland. And if he just looks around, Andy, surely he will be really soaking this in. What an occasion and what a card to be a part of.
I can't quite make up my mind with him as to whether he's a bit nervous about all of this or whether that's just his natural demeanour. At times he's looked a little bit like a fish out of water, which would be understandable, but maybe that could be slightly different when we get to the night itself.
Ukraine. He brings an undefeated record with 10 wins. 4 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Daniel Chipunya Lapin.
You have to see it to believe it. Daniel Lapin is a 6'6" light heavyweight. Part of Team Usyk, one of the Lapins around the Team Usyk camp. And he punched very, very hard last time out when we saw him here on the first Fury Usyk undercard. He's obviously a talent.
He is. He looked good that night. There's a lot to like about him. The Lapins have played an integral part in Usyk's career, a huge, huge part. I was talking to him about the early days earlier in the week, and Sergey was one of his original sparring partners. This is two undefeated fighters, and that's always good, isn't it? Kickboxing background, Dylan Collin. He's in good nick.
173.1 for Dylan Forstranquil Collin.
173.1.
The scale, Daniel Lapin. 174.9 for Daniel Chipunya Lapin.
So a pound and a half heavier for Lapin, and he is enormous. He towers over everybody. Obviously makes that weight well enough, and if he can use those natural physical advantages, he's going to be a handful.
He absolutely is, and it's interesting when you see a fighter at that weight with those kinds of dimensions. It's such a massive leap up to cruiserweight that whether he likes it or not, he's probably going to have to try and hold that weight for as long as he possibly can. He looks fantastic up there, and they'll be looking to put on a show, but so will his opponent. Those Team Usyk tracksuits, by the way, are absolutely sensational, aren't they?
Yeah, designed by Oleksandr Usyk himself. Got loads of little intricate details. They're brilliant. And Lapin is a proud wearer of those colours. Saw him last time out, as I said, when he knocked out Octavio Pudivitir very impressively.
10-round international super featherweight contest. It is brought to you in association with Boxer. First, we welcome from Penny Craig, Wales. He is undefeated with 16 wins, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBA Intercontinental Champion, Reese Lightning Edwards.
Reese Edwards said, I needed about 20 seconds to answer the phone and take this fight. Out goes Dennis McCann, in steps the Welshman. And he says, for all the smiling, Gary Lockett, for all the smiling and the boyish looks, he's a hard man who's coming here to win, Reese Edwards. And I think we all believe him.
Yeah, absolutely, we believe him. He's come through a tough school. He's a good fighter. He's been waiting to fight basically since about August, I think. I've been staying ready. He was slated to fight in January, and now he gets his chance a few weeks early.
He now has a professional record of 10 wins, just 1 defeat. 6 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBA International Champion, Peter Blood McGrail.
I'm sure there were times this week where Peter McGrail thought his chance might not come. Dennis McCann has got questions to answer over a VADA test that showed some adverse findings. That's not Peter McGrail's problem. He stayed focused all week, stayed on weight because he trusted his team that they would find an opponent. He now has to regroup for Reese Edwards.
He does. Originally he was fighting at super bantamweight. That's his weight. This is at super featherweight to accommodate Edwards, really. So McGrail, I think, would have found out early enough that he would have just stopped his final weight cut.
129.1 for Reese Lightning Edwards.
So 130 the limit for this, isn't
now
it?
Now to the scale, Peter McGrail.
And he's just under Reese Edwards.
$129.8 for Peter Blood McGrail.
7 ounces heavier for McGrail.
My guess would be that 129, just under 130, would be pretty much what McGrail would get in the ring at when he makes super bantamweight. So he's just been able to stay at the weight he would fight at rather than dip down to 122.
In a scheduled 10-round international super featherweight contest.
Good fight on paper, and I'm sure that this will be a good fight once that first bell rings at the Kingdom Arena tomorrow night, live on Sky Sports Box Office.
Well, Rhys Edwards, here we go. This is what boxing is all about. I'm not sure what you were doing a little bit earlier. Where you are now, the biggest stage of all. When the call did come to face Peter McGrail this week, what made this an easy decision for you and the team?
Well, look where I am, so it was an easy choice, and I'm really grateful to be here, and can't wait to get in there tomorrow and hopefully do the job.
And you're an unbeaten fighter in your own right, 16-0. You've got the weight on your side as well. What gives you that self-belief that you can turn up here from what you've seen of Peter McGrail and cause what would be, because of the late notice, a bit of an upset here tomorrow night, Rhys?
Listen, I know Peter's a very good fighter, but I believe in myself also. I've sparred some top people, and I know I'm very good, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Rhys, big credit to you for taking the fight on such short notice, and best of luck as well tomorrow night.
Peter, you finally get a chance to have a face-off with your opponent, only 24 hours away from getting into the ring. What are your impressions?
Yeah, you know, big respect to Rhys and his team for you know, taking the fight, coming over on such short notice. You know, gives me the opportunity to, you know, perform on the biggest stage of all. But yeah, you know, it feels a lot more real now. First head-to-head there, and you know, we're ready to go tomorrow now.
Let's talk about the weight real quick. 130 pounds on the dot for him. But for you, this is perhaps the heaviest you've ever been. How is that going to work for you?
Look, that's made fight week a lot easier for me. You know, I've been eating very, very well this week, so you know it's going to show in the ring. I'm feeling ready, feeling strong. I'm in great shape, and looking forward to perform for everyone Saturday.
We look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we are about halfway through our undercard weigh, and Shane, you said a really interesting point when we were sat there watching the lighter weights. Because they've weighed in earlier today, it's a bit of a psychology game when they're weighing in now, seeing who's put on the more weight and how that can get in your head the night before the fight.
Yeah, this is the last sort of chance to sort of get the upper hand, and a lot of them have weighed in, I think, about 10 or 11 o'clock this morning. Yeah. So Peter McGrail or Rhys Edwards, they might have weighed in at just under 130, but they might be 140 by tonight. And then if they've got their trainers on, they might be 142, and if they've got
how much does that sit in your mind?
Their phone in, they might be 143, 144. So it's especially if you're a fighter that relies on size and strength. You see what I'm saying? I mean, like, this is a fight for Peter McGrail that it's at 130 pounds. He's used to boxing at 122. Rhys Edwards is just taking the fight last minute. What an unbelievable! Yeah. You know, look at the shape of him for late notice is phenomenal. So he definitely must have been in the gym. But yeah, it's a little psychological edge here in this last little weigh-in.
Well, still to weigh in, we have Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen, the heavyweight clash coming, the return of Dave Allen. What are you expecting to see in that one? I mean, in terms of the White Rhino and Dave Allen, he's properly trained for this. He's looking in good shape. He wants to make a big impression on Saturday. Can he?
He's very familiar with Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher said that he used to look up to Dave Allen. They sparred together previously, and they are friends. Dave Allen, he knows his limitations. He knows he can only go so far, and he thinks someone like Johnny Fisher he can handle. It's very tough. And I've said before, I think Dave Allen takes a lot of stick, and he will pressure and test any fighter coming through. It'll be a good yardstick for us on Johnny Fisher as to where he stands in the British or European rating, how good he is or he isn't.
How highly do you rate Johnny Fisher?
I do rate him as a fan's favourite. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like going to the darts. His fan base are like the darts fans.
Days, Johnny, I know.
It's a really good party atmosphere. So he's a Cockney version of Dave Allen. he's just got that fan-friendly feel about him, and so he's the kind of guy that you just want to see, want to watch.
Him and his dad, Big John, and Big John is here now in Saudi Arabia. Wherever Big John is, the crowds will follow. He's very, very popular on social media. Johnny Fisher, he's not had that many rounds. Do you think Dave Allen will give him a few on Saturday?
I think he will, definitely. I mean, Dave Allen's incredibly tough, but a point I would have to bring up is the last time they were in the ring, Johnny Fisher was a complete novice. So that's going to be allowing Dave Allen to be sleeping with ease. But there's nothing worse than having this lasting memory and then getting in the ring, and he's improved in every single every area. He's fitter, stronger, punching harder with the smaller gloves. I can see Johnny Fisher getting the tough man out of there.
For both fighters, I mean, Dave Allen said it himself, it is a chance for him to grab the limelight. They want more of these fights, and he knows a good performance could possibly get him there.
You know, he's such a nice kid, Johnny Fisher, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. Dave Allen will try and old man his way through the fight. He'll try and hustle him, and if you've got wisdom, you can't buy, borrow, pretend to have that. Dave Allen's got that, and he'll try and get that over on Johnny Fisher. So Johnny Fisher's got to stay on board. He's not his friend. Get the job done, get him out.
All right, let's get back to the undercard way, and then hand you back to the two Andys.
McGregor.
Well, Lee McGregor is a very good fighter who's had his issues with the scales and his issues outside of the ring, away from boxing. But under the bright lights, when he's on it, Andy, he really is on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is exactly the right kind of fight for him and challenge for him, to get him focused, to get him dialed in, because he will know that this isn't necessarily his last chance, but it's a massive chance. And if he can get the win, he can kickstart his career.
From England, he has a professional record of 25 wins, 2 defeats, 3 draws, 8 wins. Coming by way of knockout, he is the former English, Commonwealth, and WBC international champion, Usyk, Westgate Warrior, Lowe.
And for the first time really this evening, we hear the fans who have made their way out to Riyadh, mainly because they are here for Tyson Fury. And Isaac Lowe has always been close to Team Fury, but he was very quick this week. I'm Isaac Lowe, I'm not Isaac Fury.
Absolutely, and I have to give him credit, he's picked some great tunes this week. He really has. Grand Arrivals, open workouts, and tonight too.
Lee McGregor. $125.9 for Lightning, Lee McGregor.
125.9, 8 stone, 13 pounds, 9 ounces.
Usyk, Lowe. 125.1 for Usyk, Westgate Warrior, Lowe.
I like the look of McGregor with these extra pounds on, because his European, British and Commonwealth titles came at bantamweight, and when you saw him at fight week,
here we go.
Isaac Lowe straight across the stage there, no messing around at all.
So these
forehead to forehead.
Well, these two have already clashed this morning behind closed doors. They had to be pulled apart and separated at the behind closed doors weigh-in. Now at the ceremonial weigh-in, they are going to let them face off. And unsurprisingly, they have got 1 or 2 words to say to each other.
It's been brewing this fight for a while, hasn't it? I think it was supposed to happen a couple of times before this. But it was Isaac Lowe who really initiated that. He marched straight across into McGregor's half of the stage, if you like, took his space. And when that happens, a fighter has to respond. You cannot allow someone to step to you and do nothing. But they're being dragged off backwards now. We've already had a delay here, so we couldn't have another 11-minute face-off, could we?
And this close, I know we're all excited. You do not want a last head clash or a poke in the eye or anything like that. But this fight, arguably outside the main event, represents the best and well-matched undercard fight. These two are really well-matched. This should be a good spectacle.
I agree completely. It's a really, really good fight. And as you say, you don't want it to spill over, but you want it right on the line, which is where this is.
Let's hear from both fighters.
Lee, we don't mind that. The fans certainly enjoy that. Tends to be the case when we're less than 24 hours to go. Just tell us what was being said there between yourself and Isaac Lowe.
That's a good thing about this, isn't it? Like, we get to find out tomorrow. That was what was said. All the talking's done. It's time to go to work.
What do you believe? He has a lot to say, and people find him entertaining, but what do you believe in the ring will be the difference and his reality tomorrow once that bell rings?
Well, this is the thing. He's saying that I've got no heart, I've got no this. Like, that's one thing I've got, and I've got it massively. You cannot question my heart. So I told him that. I says, we'll see tomorrow.
And when you think about yourself, you had to show perseverance. At times you had a difficult time in the sport, a period of frustration, so credit to you for showing that perseverance. But what do you believe this moment represents in the Lee McGregor story?
That's it. This is the new chapter for me. You know, I've been through so much, got through so much, and now is my time to announce myself to the world, and I'm going to do it. Trust me.
Great stuff, Lee. Best of luck tomorrow night. Enjoy.
Never a man short of words. You just heard that this is his chapter. What do you have to say about that?
We'll see tomorrow night when he gets put to sleep. He's getting knocked back out. He said it's the best version of Lee McGregor. I hope it is, because this is the best version of Isaac Lowe, and trust me, he is getting put to sleep tomorrow night. I'm going to die in that ring. He's getting it tomorrow.
And the guys out there are saying that this could be the fight that actually steals the show. What are your thoughts on that? Basically, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, 100%. There is no pressure. I was no pressure in front of all these people. This is the fun part. This is going to be a good fight. Lee's a tough kid. Comes forward. He'll have a fight. But listen, there's no one like me. I'm strong. I'm fit. I'm ready to go. And he's in with a gypsy boy now, so he's getting knocked back, fucking out.
Thank you.
Well, we nearly got there. Apologies for any language that might have caused offence.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome from Doncaster, England. He brings a professional record consisting of 23 wins, 6 defeats, 2 draws, 18 of those 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is known as the Doncaster De La Hoya David, the White Rhino Allen.
Andy, what happens if you put a bull and a rhino in a 21-foot square ring?
Chaos. That's what happens. You get chaos. I'm really interested to see what he weighs here, Dave Allen, because the word is from Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis's trainers that he's trained really well for this fight. Dave says that, but we've heard it before from Dave, to be honest with you. As much as we like him and he is very likeable, he hasn't always looked after himself.
England, he is undefeated with 12 wins, 11 of those 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Johnny, the Rumford Bull Fisher.
Well, Johnny Fisher has arguably the strongest and biggest fan base in UK boxing, but he's also a really solid, promising heavyweight talent who, behind closed doors, we're hearing continues to improve time after time.
He's one of those guys who is a good pupil, basically. He takes instruction well, he's intelligent, he soaks it up, and he's able to put it into practice.
.6 for the Doncaster De La Hoya, David the White Rhino Allen.
So around about 18 stone 5 for David Allen.
.241.1 for the undefeated Johnny the Rumford Bull Fisher.
Just over 17 stone for a very lean, solid-looking Johnny Fisher.
And weight-wise, they're both pretty much exactly where we thought they would be. Dave Allen was a pound lighter for one fight this year, a pound lighter than that for the previous one, and 240 is what Fisher has weighed his last couple, so no great surprises here.
For the vacant WBA Intercontinental
Sport is a business, but it is also exactly that. It is a sport, and these two are brilliant ambassadors for British boxing. So much respect during the build-up. Basically, all they're going to go in and do is find out who is the better man tomorrow night.
That's it. That is absolutely it. And you look at Fisher there, he does have an impressive physique. Those shoulders really taper out, don't they? He's got a long wingspan on him.
You can see why in his day he was a very effective rugby player. Let's hear from both.
Throughout the whole build-up, mentally, physically, this is the best you've ever felt, because you've never been so motivated to win a fight, this fight against Johnny Fisher. In the build-up, look, you've been honest. You've called him a novice. You've called this a lottery ticket. You said he's a kid. What is burning those fires so brightly in Dave Allen to win this fight tomorrow night?
Lots of things. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one people will remember me for, and I want to be remembered for being one hell of a man. So, yeah, tomorrow's the big one.
And you've been vocal throughout as well about how you see this fight ending with Johnny Fisher. You've kept talking about your experience, but if he comes steaming at you like he has done throughout his journey so far, his last two have been over within 90 seconds in the first round. If he comes at you in the same way, what do you believe happens to the Romford Bull?
Oh, he's making a big mistake, yeah. This is a big step up. No one's ever run onto me before. You know, I've been beaten, I've been outboxed, but I will never, ever be outfought. So if he wants to play them games, you know what they say about feathers and stuff, so we'll see.
Dave, wish you the best of luck tomorrow night.
Johnny, you just heard that from the other side of this platform. You're making a big mistake. What do you have to say about that?
There's no mistakes in this game because I leave no stone unturned. I'm ready for whatever is thrown at me. We're prepared for every eventuality. But one thing I know is I've got huge power and I've got huge heart. I'm going to show all of that tomorrow night.
We had an opportunity to talk earlier, and you did say this is perhaps the biggest challenge you have. Let's put aside the fact that he came in a bit heavier than you. Why is this so important for you?
My next fight, whoever it is always my biggest challenge. No one, the other opposition never matters to me. It matters about what I can do. I'm the Romford Bull, and I do what I do every time, and that's bring heat.
There you go. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 12-round contest. An eliminator for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Brought to you in association with 360 Promotions. We will first welcome, coming to us from Leeds, Yorkshire, England. He brings a professional record of 13 wins, just one defeat. 6 of those 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Ishmael, the Black Panther Davis.
This is surely a walk in the park for Leeds' Ishmael Davies. When he fought Josh Kelly on the Wembley bill, he answered the call at just a matter of days' notice. This time round, he's had a couple of weeks, Andy, but he's sick of being patted on the back for making up the numbers. He's very clear. I am here to win.
Absolutely. And he took that fight against Kelly at middleweight as well, and this is down at his actual weight of super welterweight, so you can see how dedicated he is. He stays in the gym, he stays ready, and he's taken the opportunity again.
A native of Ukraine, now fighting out of Los Angeles, California, USA. He brings a record of 24 wins, 2 defeats, 23 of those 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBC interim super welterweight champion of the world, Serhiy El Flaco Bohachuk.
Serhiy Bohachuk gave Virgil Ortiz absolute kittens in August, came up short by the narrowest of margins, but style-wise, he's thoroughly entertaining, he's aggressive, and you actually think that this should be a very, very watchable, entertaining style matchup.
It really should, because whilst Ishmael Davis had to really try and cut off the ring against Josh Kelly and go looking for him, he won't have to do that against Bohachuk. He will come in, he will walk him down all night long.
153.6 for Ishmael, the Black Panther Davis.
And he looks great for it. Ishmael Davies, 10 stone, 13 pounds, 6 ounces. Another Ukrainian talent on this Riyadh season card, Bohachuk.
153.1 for Serhi El Flaco Bohachuk.
So just 5 ounces lighter for Bohachuk, who stands proudly in front of that Ukrainian flag being held by world-class trainer Manny Robles.
They both look in good shape. Bohachuk takes the nickname El Flaco, which was Alexis Arguello's back in the day. Exploding thin man is what it means, and you can see why he's got it, because he's got some height to him. Physically, they're quite different, aren't they? Davis looks terrific, he really does. Really strong across the shoulders. A totally different fight from the one against Josh Kelly. I think in a sense, maybe a more straightforward one to prepare for. Early stages will be key, because Bohachuk will go and look for him and really try and test him out, see if he's got what it takes to box at the level he knows that he can box up. And if he can get through those first two, who knows?
Ishmael, late notice, yet you're all game. What does it mean to you to be here?
It means everything, man. I want to thank the man to my right, Eddie, you know, giving me the chance again. And these are the chances that make great people. So I'm here, man, ready to do the job on tomorrow night, and let's see what he's got.
What kind of statement do you need to do?
I just need to go and get the win. That's all I need to do.
Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, Sergey Bohachuk, you were meant to be fighting Israel Madrimov. It's not. It's Ishmael Davis. He's taken this chance. How are you feeling about this change in opponent? He's very ambitious.
For me, it doesn't matter who. I'm ready for this fight. I have big camp. I have a lot of sparring partners, different sparring partners, short, tall. I have a lot of experience. It doesn't matter who.
Final eliminator as well for the world title. A win takes you closer to your dream. How does that feel?
Yeah, I'm happy, I'm excited. Of course, it's a big chance for me and for the next fight in the title fight. I'm hungry. I want this. I'm very excited.
Very proud as well to have that Ukrainian flag behind you. What will this mean to you and your country tomorrow night?
You know, in Ukraine now hard time. I wanna motivate my people. I wanna show my people. Ukrainian, it's winner people. I won and Ukrainian won. Everyone, Ukrainian people, winner.
Best of luck to you tomorrow night.
Thank you so much.
That's you. That's you. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-main event tomorrow night is scheduled for 10 rounds. It will be for the WBO Intercontinental and the vacant WBA International Heavyweight Championships. Let's first welcome the challenger from Gold Coast, Australia. He has a professional record of 22 wins, just 1 defeat, 14 of those 22 wins coming by way of knockout, he is the former Australia, former WBO Asia Pacific, and former IBF Intercontinental Champion, Dempsey the Tower McKeen.
It's called the Tower for a reason. He's very long, lean, with good fundamentals, with a good engine and a good chin, Dempsey McKeen. Just one defeat on the record against world-class opposition in Filip Hrgović. He feels disrespected this week for everybody talking about what's next for Moses Itauma.
I understand that. I do, because he's not going to feel he's at that point in his career yet where he's a name on someone's record.
The defending champion from Kent, England. He had a stellar amateur career, and now at just 19 years of age, he is undefeated as a professional with 10 wins. 8 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBO Intercontinental Champion, Moses Itauma.
Representing the Medway towns, Chatham-based Moses Itauma is a problem in the heavyweight division. Matchmaking for heavyweights is key. This is his biggest fight and most challenging opponent to date in Dempsey McKeen for Moses Itauma.
It is, because McKeen is coming with a different attitude. He's not coming here to make up the numbers. He's not coming here to see if he can test him and take him some rounds, which was what Marius Vac was supposed to do. He's coming here because he believes that he can get the win and get his career where he wants it to be.
Here's McKeen.
251.1 for Dempsey the Tower McKeen.
Just under 18 stone for Dempsey McKeen.
Now to the scale, the undefeated Moses Itauma, the defending champion.
McKeen a bit heavier than he was when we saw him against Hrgović, 6 pounds heavier, but the same weight as he was back in late 2022. He's not boxed that much recently.
249.1 for Moses Itauma.
And 17 stone 11 more or less for Moses Itauma.
That's interesting, because that's a good few pounds heavier than he's been in his last few fights. He was 239 in his last couple, 241 before that, so going up to 249. I like it because he's young. He's very young. He's still growing. I felt in the last couple of fights I've seen him that across the shoulders, across the pectorals, there was definite filling out to be done there, some man strength to come there. So it was only natural he would get bigger, and he has.
Frank Warren has this terrific heavyweight stable at the moment, but I'm sure Frank and Francis Warren believe they have the real diamond jewel in the crown. He has to get through McKeen. Let's hear from both fighters.
Opportunity to speak, and you mentioned the importance of this fight after the Hrgović event. 24 hours away from getting into the ring. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I just got to get in there and do the business. It's a fight, you know, this is what we put the hard yards in, the hours every single day. You know, 11, 12 weeks of training camp has brought us to this moment in front of it's going to be a packed out crowd as well on one of the biggest cards of the year as well. So, look, I'm excited and I'm more than ready for this.
How do you plan on just messing up his party?
By winning the fight, punching him more than he punches me and inflicting a bit more damage than he does on me. So, look, we're confident in our game plan, our skill set, and just got to put it all into play.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, I'm here with the 19-year-old heavyweight sensation, Moses Itauma, 24 hours away from the acid test. This is the one. This is the step up. Tell us what's going on in the mind of Moses Itauma.
Nothing really, man. I've just been ready to go, man. I'm trying to perform in front of the Saudi crowd, put on a big show, a big knockout, and, you know, do my thing.
Listen, you've been saying all week, you're just a kid from Chatham. What's going on? Look at all these people.
Do you know what, yeah? Listen, sometimes I do have to pinch myself. Like, I'm boxing for the WBO title. Listen, I'm I'm pleased. I'm more than pleased, and I've put myself in this position, and now I'm gonna grab it with both hands. I ain't let go of it.
You've got a man there in Dempsey McKean who has oozed confidence. Many people are saying he said there he's going to ruin your party. How does that make you feel?
I ain't worried about that.
And final one, we've seen you just a little bit heavier in this fight than you were in your last fight. Is there any thought behind that? You're just getting bigger and stronger?
It's the trainers. Don't worry about that. Nah, do you know what? I got more weight in my punches now, so we'll see tomorrow night.
Best of luck, Moses Itauma.
Thank you very much.
Well, the wait is almost over. Stay with us, because coming up next is the main event weigh-in, Usyk versus Fury 2. Back shortly.
Welcome back to Riyadh, where everyone is in fine voice here, seeing Sweet Caroline, and that is because it is all about the main event weigh-in coming your way. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk are getting ready to step on the scales. It is quite a good atmosphere here, isn't it? Everyone's getting in fine spirits, eagerly anticipating these two to step on the scales.
Yeah, I mean, you know, would it be a Tyson Fury fight without Sweet Caroline? So, you know, they're out in force.
And no waiting for this one. We've seen that Tyson Fury's camp are here, Oleksandr Usyk are here. No mind games this time.
No mind games. I just want to see how this is going to function on stage. It's not a big stage. I want to see if the entourage is going to get on the stage, or will it be just business as usual? I don't think so. I think this crowd will probably try and pump Tyson Fury up. Oleksandr Usyk will try and be Mr. Cool. So I just want to see how he holds his nerves, holds his mouth. just keep it all intact until tomorrow night. 24 hours to go.
Well, Fury had a good go yesterday, didn't he, in that 11-minute stare down yesterday. This is the last-ditch attempt, isn't it, that he can try and get in the mind of Oleksandr Usyk. Shane, do you think there's any chance of that happening at all?
No, not at all. Not at all with Oleksandr Usyk. He's laser focused, always has been, always will be. I think Tyson Fury, I'm keen for him to go and shout and scream and big man him and really try and be aggressive, because that's what he has to do in this fight. He has to be aggressive and be intentful.
All right, okay, let's get to it then, and we can hand you over to Hall of Fame MC Michael Buffer.
Of the United Kingdom. His professional record stands at 36 fights, 34 victories, 24 big wins by knockout, only one defeat with one draw. He is the heavyweight fighting pride of the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, the former lineal and two-time heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Well, here we go. Will it be repeat? Will it be revenge? Tyson Fury walks to the scales for the first time, having lost his unbeaten professional record, for the first time having had a defeat inflicted upon him. Penny for his thoughts right now.
I love this game, Andy. I love this game because this is the business end of the week. We know what he's been like all week. We'll see him on the scales. He just wants action now. That is all that he wants. With that face-off yesterday, you can see that he is desperate to get into the ring and try and make amends for that first defeat, a first professional defeat. All right, it was close. It was a split decision, but this is a man who does not lose. He is not used to losing. He won't be able to accept losing, defeat in any form. It's just not how he's built. The same with Oleksandr Usyk. And I know the beard has been a point of contention, hasn't it, in the rules meeting today. It's interesting, Fury, when it comes to the beard. He didn't have one for the first two Wilder fights. He did for the third. He didn't have one in the first Usyk fight. He's brought it back tonight. I do think it means something. I think it means something.
He's been in what he describes as beast mode. The questions have got longer, the answers have got shorter.
He is the heavyweight fighting pride of Ukraine, an Olympic gold medal champion now as a professional, a perfect record, 22 fights, 22 victories, 14 big wins by knockout. He is the former undisputed, undefeated cruiserweight world champion, and now the reigning, defending, universally recognized, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
The drones fly above us, the fireworks explode around us, and he may not have all of the heavyweight titles, but he is the #1 widely recognised best heavyweight in the world.
He is, because he won back in May, and that's what that was all about, and we all knew it. There was no debate, there were no grey areas, no ifs, no buts, no maybes. He is the man.
The cat, Oleksandr Usyk, because he is the challenger. Tyson Fury will step on the scales and he will not reveal that torso. Let's listen out for the weight.
£281 for the challenger, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, who looks to me like he has many layers on.
He does. I mean, I'd say he could have half a stone's worth of gear on there, to be honest with you.
World champion Oleksandr Usyk on the scale.
I think he's probably what most people thought he would be, which is about 272, 273.
Let's hear the Usyk weight, which surely will not be surprising. He's been consistent in his heavyweight career.
226 pounds for the reigning and defending champion, Oleksandr Usyk.
So it is a career heaviest for Usyk, but again, tracksuit bottoms, t-shirt, woolly hat and trainers.
Yeah, exactly. He was 223 last time, 221 for his 3 fights before that. So realistically, there's no change there because it's got 2-3 pounds worth of clothes on there, I would say. So I would put him, if he'd stripped down at 223. Fury with the jacket and the hat and the trainers and all the rest of it. My guess would be that if he was stripped down, he would be 273, 274. So the same weight as he was for Wilder too, or maybe a touch heavier than that. But that's basically where he is.
The atmosphere, it's electric. Camera phones everywhere. Look at that for a picture. Look at that for a spectacle. Look at the belts, the silverware. Will these two face off? Will they go nose to nose? Surely it cannot be another 11 minutes. But this is what we've all been waiting for. This is what it is all about.
It absolutely is. You look at that scene up there, it's barely organised chaos, and that's what weigh-ins are. That's what boxing is most of the time. But we all know why we are here. It's to see the two best heavyweights in the world. It gave us such an incredible fight back in May, faced off again. I think it will be another tremendous fight. I think it might be quite different to how it was the first time around. I'm not convinced at all that this is going to go 12 rounds, but just look at Fury there, just hands clasped. Honestly, he cannot wait to get out of here, can he? He's had enough of this. Usyk has been statesmanlike this week, hasn't he? He's really owned it, he's enjoyed it.
And he has turned to face Fury. Fury does eventually turn to face him.
Tomorrow night, here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, 12 rounds of boxing.
Fury's tipped away.
This time he does break, and not a word was uttered between them.
And I think, to be honest with you, that Usyk probably would have been quite relieved about that, because we were talking about this previously, weren't we? And anything over 30 seconds, it becomes a thing, and he just nipped that in the bud.
Stay with us, because we will try and get reaction from both fighters after this short commercial break.
Okay. Welcome back to Riyadh. Well, you've seen it. Both heavyweights have weighed in. Both Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk have hit the scales. Fury came in at 281. Usyk 226, give or take a few layers of clothes. Tyson Fury, well, he didn't stick around for the interview, but Oleksandr Usyk did. And we can hear from Oleksandr Usyk now. Well, we saw Tyson Fury get on the scales, 281, Oleksandr Usyk 226, but you saw it on the scales. Fury weighed in leather jacket, trousers. Usyk had a chain on, had his sweatsuit on as well. Can't really read too much into that. I reckon if you'd taken the clothes off, maybe Tyson Fury, half a stone, he'd probably come in at around maybe, Johnny, the weight that he came in for that second Wilder fight, which also goes with the mentality that he's come with for this one, which was what, 273?
Yeah. We're making a big deal out of the weights. I think the person we'd have to focus on if it was about the weights would be Tyson Fury. How will he fight? I think Usyk will probably come in around the weights that he's comfortable with. So regards to the chains, everything that's taken off, you've got two big heavyweights in there. Two big heavyweights that have a game plan. The bigger the fight, the two fighters is Tyson Fury. No matter what he weighs, his intention is to use his physicality a lot better than he did the last time to box and bash. So he's giving away as little as possible to us. I've tried to get some inside information from my inside source, but I've got nothing so far. So I just think the job's done now. 24 hours to go.
Well, I teased you, didn't I, a little bit earlier? We can hear from Oleksandr Usyk now.
Last impressions, you just faced Tyson Fury for the last time before you walk into the ring. What are you feeling?
Ти був на фейс-офі з Тайсоном Ф'юрі. Що ти відчув?
Nothing.
How do you handle? None of this gets to you. How do you pull that off?
Як ти справляєшся з цим? Воно нічого до тебе не доходить із того, що він намагається зробити.
Because my angel helped me, but my God, Jesus helped me, and my family and my team. My wife more helped me.
And tomorrow, real quick, I understand your wife will be here. Who will you dedicate this fight to?
Я знаю, що твоя дружина вже тут. Кому ти присвятиш цю перемогу?
I talk to you tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Tyson Fury didn't quite get to speak to us. However, when he left, he said one word: war. And that is what he's promising tomorrow night. So that's the good news, everyone. I've got Frank Warren with me. Frank, I mean, yesterday it was like 11 minutes of a face-off. Today, 3 seconds, I believe. What did you make of it all up there?
What I make of it, there's going to be a war tomorrow. That's what it is. Tyson's come for it, come to get those titles back. That's what he's here for. That's what he's sacrificed a lot for. And that is what I believe will happen.
He weighed 281 pounds, however, full clothing. But one thing's for sure, he's definitely bigger than the first fight.
Yeah, he's heavier, but I think the other guy is as well, isn't he?
He also had clothes on, yeah.
So there you go. Look, you can look and analyse it what way you like, talk about it what way you like. Facts of the matter is, tomorrow night we're going to find out who is the best. And you know both of them are coming to fight. It's going to be exciting. That first bell goes, they're going to get down on it, and you're going to see something extra special.
Is this a fight that ends within the distance, Frank?
In my opinion, it will. In Tyson's favour.
Well, there we have it. Frank Warren believes it'll be a Tyson TKO win. Let's find out tomorrow.
So we heard from Frank Warren there, but Tyson Fury didn't stick around, Johnny. Got on the scales, and then he scarpered.
I'm liking everything.
Yeah.
I'm liking absolutely everything about Tyson Fury this week. I've done full circle. I'm usually giving this guy so much stick, everything he does and everything he says. But for such an important fight, which I think will be a legacy fight, especially in the heavyweight era right now. This is one of those fights. I like everything I've seen. Tyson Fury's done the right thing. Get out of there. He can't hold his emotion. And so he's thinking, I want out.
Interestingly, Shane, as well, the entourage with Tyson Fury completely stripped back.
Small.
Yeah.
Andy Lee was stood right beside us, so he is a great voice to have. I would have kept him up there, but in terms of Stad's not here, you know, he normally brings a lot of his brothers across. There was only one Shane that was up there on the stage show, and Sugar Hill and Spencer Brown, so a small entourage. Usyk was the guy with the back slappers there. So yeah, I think I'm siding with Johnny. I think it's a great mentality. Whether it's going to help him or not, I'm not too sure.
Well, one of the things that Fury spoke about from the last fight was the voices in the corner. Were there too many voices in the corner? With the entourage stripped back, do you think that could be less of an issue tomorrow night for him?
I keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. Tyson Fury finds calm throughout chaos. He always has done. I can remember sparring with him when he was 19 years old.
But there hasn't been chaos this week from Tyson Fury.
No, shall I tell you why? Because right now, the chaos is right there. He's got to keep that still. And he wants to let that chaos go as soon as the bell goes. So even the whole squad are scared of him because they've never seen this side of Tyson Fury. There's no nonsense going on from Tyson Fury. So the whole squad are thinking, uh-oh, get out of here. And that's what's happening.
Well, you don't want to miss the fight. Let's just remind you of how you can book it. Coverage from Riyadh gets underway from 4 p.m. on Saturday, live on Sky Sports Box Office. The event is available to Sky residential customers and also non-Sky customers via the Sky Sports Box Office app in the UK and Ireland. Virgin Media and EETV customers, please contact your operator. Go to skysports.com/box office for more information. So you know what's coming. What happens tomorrow night, Johnny?
I flipped and I flopped and I flopped and I flipped.
And I guarantee you, between now and tomorrow, you're going to change your mind as well.
I'm putting my neck on the line, and I'm saying Tyson Fury gets an inside the distance win.
Oosh. Shane?
Not for me. I think he'll have more success. I think he potentially could drop Usyk. But I think the longer that the fight goes on, I favour Usyk. I think he will either win on points or potentially stop him late.
I think there's one thing that is guaranteed. Both fighters are going to absolutely bring their A game, aren't they?
They have to,
yeah.
No matter what. This fight's so much more important than the belts. This is a big deal.
Should Tyson Fury win, where would that rank amongst his fixtures? Career best?
3-time heavyweight champion of the world. You've got to put him up there regardless. You've got to put him up there in that mix.
It is so exciting. I cannot wait. The good news is we haven't got long to wait. That is it from us here at the weigh-in. Do make sure you join us. You don't want to miss it. It is going to be absolutely brilliant. 4 o'clock, Sky Sports Box Office for all the electric action coming away tomorrow night. See you then.
Tyson Fury will face Oleksandr Usyk with all the belts on the line.
The whole world is watching. One will win, one will lose. And why will I win? Because what I do, I win, no matter what. I prepared for this fight for 22 years.
One true king will be crowned.
A good shot from Fury.
Left hand there from Oleksandr Usyk. Trouble. Tyson Fury is all over the